Hello and welcome to Talking Games. Just finished West Ham United 3, Charlton Athletic 0. Big upset in the London Stadium tonight. Anyway, Gonzo, let's discuss the highlights. There's a few of them anyway, and we'll get on to the... I'm looking forward to the evaluation of tonight's game, if you like, which will be quite pleasant for a change. Yarmolenko had the goal disallowed after 10 minutes, and I have to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what for. I know you only got one replay, but it seemed a bit harsh to me.
A little bit. I could see the push though. I think in this day and age, I think I can see why that's given. And I think had it have gone to VAR, then I think they would have given it again. I think it was a bit of a push there. It wasn't quite. Was it Souček's disallowed goal, if you remember, against Chelsea, wasn't it? I thought that was. It was for a similar position, obviously, but you had the goalkeeper. I thought that was it wasn't really like that. I could see why it was given. It was weak, but
rubbish.
I don't think it was. I don't think it's overly controversial, if you know what I mean.
Should have stood. 21 minutes though, we did make it 1-0. Now this one I thought would have been ruled out for offside. Yarmolenko, who's not the fastest player, somehow found himself 15 yards beyond the Charlton defence. Lovely ball by Josh Cullen over the top. Yeah. In went Yarmolenko, put across the face of goal. Sebastian Haller, he's not going to miss from 2 yards out. But a goal that perhaps calmed the nerves after what was a bright enough start by Charlton for the first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't think an exceptional start from then. I still felt that we were the better team, albeit I very much felt we finished a game where all of our players were better than all of their players. But I still felt at that early part in the game we had 4 or 5 players who were several levels above anything they had. And Yarmolenko was certainly one of those. Obviously, we were quite restricted because of the streaming services, the camera angles. So I've only got to assume that Yarmolenko just timed his run really, really well. I was pleased with the stream, by the way. I thought they did a really good job, the EFL, and I'm pleased that they're actually able to generate some money from other areas now. I think that's really, really beneficial to them. The ball was lovely, by the way, from Josh Cullen. He did a great job there, and funny enough, I saw him when he was shaping up to pass the ball. I sort of knew what he was going to do. But obviously Yarmolenko also knew what he was going to do, but the Charlton defenders didn't seem to know what he was going to do. But I'm not sure how much it calmed the nerves. Though I thought we were pretty much in control at that point. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought we looked good. I thought the first 5-10 minutes, I thought Charlton had a little bit of enthusiasm about them, but without really troubling us too much. But I thought our players just looked better, really. The touches of our players looked better. The passing was a little bit better. Whenever we went forward, it looked like we were going to create a chance out of it. We just looked really good. And to get the first one, from then on, I don't want to say it was game over, but I felt very relaxed at 1-0. I thought, this we'll be alright here. And 4 minutes later, though, it was 2-0. Sebastian Haller, we've always wondered why we don't cross it more to him. Robert Snodgrass picks the ball up, whips it in. Sebastian Haller. Now, disregard it's League One for a second here, because I think it is important in the grand scheme of context for the match, but for the header, it's just a superb header. I think it doesn't matter if it's League One standard or not. That header is the same in the Premier League or in League One. The way he just puts it to the far corner of the goal, superb goal.
And he was marked as well, Geo. A good cross from deep from Snodgrass, and Yarmolenko involved in the build-up play again. But he was marked, and he actually just managed to. If I were to say if you didn't see the game, and I'd tell you that Sebastian Haller got in between the two defenders, it would give an indication there was space. He was between the two defenders, but they were very tight to him. There was no space. One of their central defenders was, like the Incredible Hulk, big brute of a man, but he wasn't green and with torn shorts or anything, but he was a big muscly guy. Didn't seem to bother Haller, who I think is carrying an extra bit of timber, Geo. And I don't mean that he's been eating lots of KFC. It looks like he's been at the gym as well. He seemed skinnier last season. He seems to have almost bulked up a little bit. He's a fair old lump, Sebastian Haller, to be fair. And just beat the two defenders in the air, beat the one defender for strength, and as you say, headed it accurately and nicely. And well, he is a finisher, isn't he? But we'll get on to him a little bit later. Maybe I've got some observations about him.
Interesting. We'll get on to your observations in a second. But went in half time 2-0 up. I mean, I'm going to try and pick the words out of your mouth here, but it did seem like the game was comfortably then.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. As the song goes. Yeah, but I would take that because I'm sick of it being the other way following the weekend. So I was actually looking forward to the second half in that sense, to see some more of the players, and it was nice looking at the individuals. But there were a few, as we discussed in the build-up show, with a point to prove, and some who might have felt that they would have a reasonable chance of playing themselves into the first team for Arsenal. I think possibly one or two may have just done exactly that, by the way. So comfortable, but enjoyable. I was looking forward to the second half, and I enjoyed the second half as well.
Yeah, I thought the first half, I thought we were looking really good. That old cliche and that old professional game, and I thought that was exactly what we were doing. There was no fuss. I thought Balbuena and Diop were booting the ball away quite a lot, to be honest with you, but I quite liked it. I thought, you know what, this is what we've got to do, just no risks, no nothing. I quite liked it, and I thought we were passing the ball about really well. I thought one or two players in particular were looking head and shoulders above the rest on the pitch, and I include our players in that. I thought one or two of ours looked a lot better than our own players, and it was good to see as well. Some really nice touches, some really nice play, and there was at one point there was about 7 headers in a row, backwards and forwards between the two. Then Josh Cullen just came and plucked out the sky and said, "No, none of this. I'm having it on the deck. Thank you very much." I just thought we played really good football. I'm aware it's League One. I'm aware it's Charlton, but the confidence of these players are on the floor at the minute. But we turned up and we made it look easy. We made it look like Premier League against League One. And Charlton, to be fair, they were trying. They were doing their best. They didn't lie down and take a defeat, if you like. They were having a hustle and bustle about them. I thought Johnny Williams was looking really good, but at half time at 2,
and the winger, their left winger, was a decent player.
At half time at 2-0, I was just really comfortable. The second half, though, how did you? Well, I suppose we'll talk about the goal, then we'll do the whole half overall. Felipe Anderson got his goal, which was pleasing, I have to say, because I'll admit it. I thought he was rubbish in the first half, Felipe Anderson. I did not think Anderson had a good game at half time. Come half time, I was thinking I wouldn't mind him coming off, to be honest with you, and putting Xande Silva on or something, trying something a bit different. I thought he was anonymous. I thought he was I don't want to say our worst player. He wasn't playing bad. He just wasn't involved in the game at all. He wasn't playing good at all. Whereas I thought perhaps Lanzini and a certain other player was looking really good. But the second half, I was really impressed with Felipe, actually, and I thought his goal was deserved come the end of the game. But good play by Lanzini, holds up, lays it off, and a nice, neat finish.
Exquisite play by Lanzini, actually, who was lively and buzzing, I thought, from the off. Which is why I said earlier, when I said at the start of the game, I was comfortable at the start, because I thought we had at least 4 players who were comfortably above anything they had, and I put Lanzini squarely in that 4, certainly. And I would agree on Felipe Anderson. I thought his decision making in particular was atrocious, and I was looking at him thinking, how can you have that much pace, have that much ability, and keep doing everything wrong? And even the short passes that should be 2 yards in front of everybody, so they can take the ball in their stride, they were sort of 1 yard in front of them, so almost a player would have to slow up and the ball would be slightly behind him, and it would sort of just a simple pass that any one of us could do was killing the momentum of the attack. I thought he was doing everything wrong, actually. So I agree with that. But that goal, Lanzini just had such good footwork, and I was watching him closely, actually, because after he got hacked down, he was hacked down badly, and the guy should have got a card, by the way. I thought, is this it? Is he going to shrink into it? Is he going to disappear now? And he didn't. He kept on showing for the ball all game. And he did. He completely bamboozled them, Geo, and he laid it off. And actually, it'll probably get written that was a side foot. It'll probably get written in the newspapers that Felipe Anderson side footed it home. But it doesn't tell the whole story. I still thought it was a neat finish. He had to put power on the side foot. Placement and accuracy. Yeah, delighted as well, mate.
Two substitutions come on, 2 youngsters come on. Connor Coventry and Ashby came on as well, which was pleasing to see. Finished 3-0 to West Ham. What do you make of the game? We'll get into individual performances, because I think tonight, while getting through was the first and foremost priority, the second priority was probably individual performances. That's why I'm trying to skip through the highlights a little bit, because I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a relatively easy game. I didn't think there was... I think 3-0 was a fair scoreline at the end of the day, to be honest with you. But what did you make of the game overall?
I enjoyed it, and I think we can't do ourselves down too much. If we're going to get furious, and by the way, I certainly was when we lost to Oxford and lost to Wimbledon and stuff like that, if we're going to get furious at that, and bearing in mind we lose to lower league opposition, we should also be pleased when we beat lower league opposition. And he picked the right team today, and even our reserves, which is more or less, if you say what they were still comfortably better than them. I think the thing is, what I would say is I enjoyed it, Gio. And you just mentioned there about Ashby and Coventry coming on. All I can say is I looked up and I saw at one point it was 85 minutes. I was a little bit disappointed there was only 5 minutes left because I wanted to see some more of those two because I was enjoying myself. I was watching football and actually just enjoying what I was seeing. And even another one who started badly, I thought, was Arthur Masuaku. There was one point he wasn't under any pressure and he was on the left wing and he just passed it into touch. He was trying to pass it down the line and he passed it out for a throw in. I thought, how have you managed that? It wasn't even a long pass, it was a 5 metre pass. I thought, oh my goodness, this is awful. So he's playing badly, Felipe Anderson's playing badly. But even by that second half, Masuaku and Anderson, they've rejuvenated that left hand side. And you mentioned the centre halves as well. And sorry, I'm starting to go into individual players, but all I can say is I thoroughly enjoyed that game, Jim.
Yeah, I thought we did everything right in order to win the tie. I thought we played well. I thought we were relatively comfortable. Randolph had a couple of reasonably decent stops to make without...
And a couple of flaps.
Yeah, he didn't fill me with confidence with one or two of them, which was supposed to be simple catches, but he seemed to sort of manage to fumble it. A bit worrying, but we're in the next round. That's what's important. But I thought the tactics were spot on. I thought the lineup was correct. The only disappointment, it's a slight disappointment, is I would have liked to have seen the substitutions earlier, and I mean like on the hour mark, and I would have liked to have seen Yarmolenko come off because I thought 2-0, I thought the game was won. Yarmolenko got brought down at one point. I thought, please just get this guy, wrap him up in cotton wool, for the love of God, get him off. And I would have liked to have maybe even taken Alier off as well, because game's finished, we've got Silva on the bench, get a youngster on and just say to those players, well done, that's it, your audition for Saturday's done, nice one. And then we'll discuss the team for Saturday tomorrow in training or whatnot. I'd have liked to have seen earlier substitutions, but I can understand, believe it or not, why Moyes hasn't done it tonight, because he needed to make sure we were in the next round of the Cup. David Moyes had to 100% make sure we were through. And at 2-0, and Charlton come out in the second half for 5-10 minutes. I thought they had a little bit of tails up about them actually. We saw it out. We just kept them at arm's distance, and I think their enthusiasm waned a little bit, and then they ended up taking off their two main players. But if it went 2-1, you just know what's going to happen. We are going to crumble. Charlton are going to smell blood. So I can understand why David Moyes has held off on the substitutions. However, I would have liked to have seen them a little bit earlier in an ideal world. But individual performers, plenty of them to go through. Take your pick.
Well, I'll start with Josh Cullen. I thoroughly enjoyed watching him play football tonight, Gio. I really, really did. Energy, drive. He's only little. He looks like he's half my size, but he's winning headers.
Half your size. Behave. For people that haven't met Gonzo's really short.
Pardon? Yeah, but he's a little fella. I'm just how he was competing and winning headers with people that were twice his size, really. Shows determination and shows battling qualities. Would put his foot in, would make a sliding challenge, and I thought actually I would never. You couldn't describe him as fast, but actually he was pacey enough. I looked at it there and I think naturally just in my mind I was comparing him to Mark Noble, but actually he's a bit quicker than Mark. Neat and tidy, but I don't mean to damn him with faint praise because he keeps the ball ticking over. But if he needs to switch the play and play a 15-yard pass or switch it to the other side of the pitch, not a problem as well. I think in terms of a problem for the next game, look, is he going to oust Souček or Rice from the team? No, he's not, for obvious reasons. Is he going to oust Noble? No, because I don't think Cullen plays that far forward that is a number 10 type player, but he should be the next person on the pitch. If anything happens to Rice or Souček, Cullen should be the next person on the pitch, and you alluded to him putting himself on the bench for that performance. I think he's done that today. I was absolutely delighted with Johnson, by the way. And I'll tell you why I was delighted with Johnson is because he got hauled off after 25 minutes, and you just worry what that's going to do for a player's confidence. So I was actually thought, even today, maybe he's just going to play it safe and just defend. No, actually, I saw things from Ben Johnson today that I've not seen before. Actually, I saw him on a couple of times play 30, 40-yard passes to the other side of the pitch, long range, like Beckham type pass, very good. There was a lovely bit of skill where he absolutely did the defender, got to the byline, did a trick, and really, it should have been an assist. It should have, because it should have been a goal. Got to the byline again. Fouled when he needed to. I thought he was up against a good opponent as well, who caused him trouble sometimes. So I was pleased to see him challenge. There was a little duel there, and it was nice. On occasion, the left winger would get the better of him, and then the next duel, then Johnson would get the better of him. I just thought it was really good for his confidence. I was absolutely delighted to see that. Haller, well, he's just a finisher, isn't he? So we have to have him in the team. He has to be in the team. Lanzini, I've already mentioned. I think Lanzini's going to get picked up by somebody. It just depends how much we want to hang on to him. So there's enough of a player still there for somebody to come in and say, actually, I can get a tune out of him. I'd like to see Lanzini play 10 games in a row, actually, and actually see what we get and see if we can get the old Lanzini back, because there's enough. I thought it might be there, and there's been enough glimmers to suggest it might be, because he offers something completely different that nobody else really offers in the squad, which is the ability to dribble past a player centrally, which disrupts people's tactics because it takes players out of it and creates space for other people. But he was really good, and in particular what I did enjoy, because I almost thought Yarmolenko was bordering on the unplayable. He was so good, Yarmolenko. What an intelligent footballer he is. The understanding that Haller, Yarmolenko and Lanzini seemed to have in terms of the triangles, the 1-2s, the way they were lending each other the ball, really safe in the knowledge that they were going to get it back, Gio. And look, I'm speaking about us now like we're Barcelona, who have just won the Champions League against Bayern Munich. I know, we're West Ham, we played Charlton, and yes, they were allowed to do that. But it was a competitive game, and you could see that from the fouls that Charlton were trying to do. Charlton tried to disrupt us and put us off our game. And I thought with Cullen in there wanting to play football and keep it on the deck, as you alluded to earlier, with Lanzini doing the same thing, with Yarmolenko as well, and then Haller, who will keep the ball and then give it back to you. They did that really well up until the others started to come into the game and join in a bit. Some really good performances, which I hope has Moyes thinking.
Yeah, just quickly, we don't normally do interact with live chat and reviews because we try and keep it short and sweet as possible, although they aren't short and sweet, they're long and hopefully sweet. But Adam Headings has put in $5 and said Dildo Brothers. So
us? We're not Dildo Brothers.
I don't think he's talking about us, but he might be. I don't know. Do you feel like a plastic penis?
Well, I've got a triple. What's
Crikey,
it here,
put that away. Well, hang on a minute. We're past the watershed. Actually, it's all right. Get your toys out. It's fine. And Adam Leatherbarrow put in £5 1 penny and said a penny for your thoughts. So thank you, Adams. And
thank you, Adam.
Well, there you go. There's your Dildo Brother shout out. Anything goes on the channel. We don't mind.
I've got a smaller one for Adam.
Well, I think that's for you midget.
It certainly is. Yeah, I don't want my eyes.
Ben Johnson worried me a little bit, actually, Gonzo. He took a yellow card very early on in the game, and I thought, you cannot do that on Saturday. You're up against Arsenal. If you were to play right back, you'd be up against Aubameyang. You cannot do that. You cannot get a yellow card for 5 minutes. You're not playing 85 minutes against Arsenal on a booking. But apart from that, I think he had a solid game. I don't think he was amazing, but I thought he had a solid game. I thought the centre-backs were worrying, actually. I'll be very honest. In the first half, they were just booting away, and I could accept it, no risks. But in the second half, I thought they were both a little bit nervy, to be honest with you. They were making me nervous. I thought if Charlton are going to score, it's probably going to come through an individual error from one of our centre-backs, and it's just a bit... It only strengthens David Moyes' marquee signing claim for a centre-back by the name of James Tarkowski. I think tonight is only just going to convince them further. If we've seen us have a little wobble against Charlton strikers, he's probably not going to be looking forward to seeing them come up against Willian, Lacazette and Aubameyang on Saturday, and neither am I. I thought Masuaku did well. Well, that's it. I thought he did a bit like Johnson, solid. I thought Snodgrass was solid. You get what you get with Robert Snodgrass. There's no frills about him. I thought Josh Cullen was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Josh Cullen. Every time we got the ball, I wanted to see Josh get it because I knew he was going to go do something with it. The players trust him with it, and he trusts the players with it. There was one point he put a 30-yard volley right over to Felipe Anderson. It was really high. Now, Felipe Anderson was never controlling it because he had a defender. But it was almost like Josh Cullen saying, look, you are damn good footballer. Deal with this. Deal with it. And if you want to return it back to me, return it back to me. And the defender headed out. But I thought that takes some trust in your teammate. Not every player would have made that pass. Most would have turned around and gave it to a centre-back to play it safe. And I just liked the way he was happy to give it to Lanzini with a defender behind him, saying, look, you are good enough to have the ball there. You are good enough to take that player on, have the ball, stop playing safe football all the time. Let's just turn and have a go at them. I just thought he was brilliant. I'm glad he got his hockey assist, if you like, for the first goal. I would have liked, I don't know, to see him further up the pitch, but I just thought he was really, really good, and he has to be on the bench against Arsenal now. David Moyes now has to drop a senior player and put Josh Cullen on the bench against Arsenal. As simple as that. And unfortunately for Snodgrass, I would suggest Cullen's maybe ahead of him in the pecking order for that area of the pitch now, which isn't good for him. I'll leave a certain player for the man of the match. I was pleased by Lanzini tonight. I really, really pleased. I was nervous for him and Anderson before the game. As I said to you, if they don't turn up, we're going to struggle. But I just thought Lanzini was magnificent. He was just purring at some points. His touches, his technique, the way he just controls the ball with the sole of his foot and stuff. When he's just got that natural, he just oozes ability sometimes, and he's a delight to watch when he's on the ball. That little delicate things he does. I really enjoy watching Manuel Lanzini was in the mood. I'm aware me and your Lanzini fanboys, and a lot of our viewers aren't as keen on him, but unfortunately we just like Lanzini. You're just going to have to put up with it. Anderson, like I said, crap first half, really good second half. The contrast is unbelievable in my head. Sebastian Elliott, it's difficult to gauge. I thought his first goal was obviously really easy. Unlucky not to get a hat-trick, but like Johnson and Masuaku, solid. Can I get your final words then? We'll do the man of match in a second, but can I get your final words on the overall? Wait, hang on, I've got a good question for you. Is the romance of the cup back for you yet?
No. mate, yeah, no. It's not that. I really enjoyed it, Joe. I'm not sure how much I was thinking about the cup when it was going on. I think it was it was more the joy of watching a West Ham game again that was back. I'd almost forgot it was the cup. I'm not thinking of a day out at Wembley at this stage. I think I was really just enjoying the individual performances. I'm not poo-pooing it, but I just wasn't thinking about the cup very much, or do you know what, you mentioned it, that's the first time I thought that we were in the draw for the next round. Hadn't even entered my brain. We just finished the match. I honestly meant what I said. The last 5 minutes there was 2 runs by Ashby. I want to see a bit more of this boy. Oh, he was confident. Actually, again, he looked a bit quicker than I thought he might be. There was a lovely, first thing Coventry did was give it away, got on the ball, bang straight away and made a good pass, didn't go into his shell. Then he did a really lovely flick in midfield which showed confidence to do it. I wanted to see more of him, so I was just enjoying myself watching the game, Gio, which is, I mean, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? Which I think fair play on him, because we didn't have the sound. Every match I've watched so far has had the full sound in there, so it was silent. You could hear a pin drop, and I hated it to start with. I think it's I still hated it. I don't think that's not a nice way to watch football. I don't like it at all. But really, really nice. It felt like I was watching a bit of a training exercise in that sense, but I was pleased to watch the training exercise, and I like the way that Moyes deployed them. I like the shape. I thought we held our shape, and I like the fact we were content a lot of the time to play it on the deck. And I do think Josh Cullen, Lanzini and Yarmolenko have got a lot to do with that. The way they were linking, there was a telepathy, there was an understanding between them, which was I really enjoyed. I really, really did. And just my final thoughts. I think you've got to put everything has a context. Here's the context with Lanzini. Lanzini had already built his reputation with David Moyes from David Moyes' first stint when he played alongside Arnautovic. When David Moyes came back into West Ham, immediately he was thinking, I've got Lanzini there, I know this guy, he's my man, he's going to be in there. And Moyes put him in straight away as soon as he could. And then I think Moyes realised, this is not the same guy. But he already has made a first impression. And he doesn't need lots and lots of convincing. He doesn't have to convince David Moyes an awful lot. Now, if anyone in that team, and I think we both got the same man of the match, by the way, if anyone in that team could convince David Moyes to put him in the team for Sunday, I think it's Lanzini, because of their history, because of the context. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised after that if David Moyes is looking at it and thinking, I might play him in Mark Noble's position. I would not be surprised to see it at all.
No, I could go along with that. He trusts Lanzini, doesn't he? He's got that thing built up. And Moyes is quite a stubborn manager. He has his favourites and certain players he doesn't like, clearly. I mean, no Jack Wilshere tonight at all. He might be injured, but I've got a feeling they're trying to push him away to Genoa, wherever it is he's possibly going. I think tonight was a really good win, a solid win. Context, as you said, is required, and that is it's a League One Charlton. So we almost scratch it off and you go again. It's a completely different mindset on Saturday. Am I any more confident against someone against Arsenal after tonight's win? No. Absolutely not. I'm just pleased to be in the next round. I'm looking forward to the cup run. I like the cup. I love the cup. I want to be in it. Our next opponents play tomorrow night. Leeds play Hull tomorrow, and we play the winner of that game in the next round. So we could easily have Leeds United in the next round of the cup, which wouldn't be ideal. I'd rather play Hull, if I'm all honest. But we'll get a little insight into what Bielsa's going to do, because there's probably more pressure on Leeds to feel the weaker side and go after the Premier League status than there is perhaps on West Ham at this point. So he might rotate heavily, and then therefore we'll see a little upset there. But it was good. I enjoyed tonight. It was good to be able to watch it and not get angry, to be honest with you. But I enjoyed the football. I enjoyed the style of play. It would have been easy to try and long ball this and just grind out a 2-0 win, if you like, just because we're better, but we didn't. We played some nice stuff tonight. There was some good entertainment. Can I get your man of match, please?
Yes, Andrei Yarmolenko, who was just sizzling, really, wasn't he? Let's be fair. Can slow the game up, slow the game down, can speed it up. There were a couple of times when actually I thought, has he got a little bit more pace? I keep saying that this evening. People are quicker than I thought. Maybe I just think everyone's slow, so everything's. If you think everyone's a snail, then everyone's quick when you see him play. I saw him go down the line, actually take on his man, go on a little sprint and beat it. And at a point where you think he's going to look in to cut on with his left foot, no, dink it in with his right foot. Which you're going to need to do. You need that variation with people who are aware you're just always going to cut in. And if you can do that, then by the end of them, he almost had the defenders dangling on a string because they didn't know if he was going to go wide and put a cross in or cut inside. So his ball control is just exquisite. So happy to operate in close, confined quarters. And that is what I enjoyed. You mentioned something you were absolutely spot on when you said about Josh Cullen trusting Lanzini when he's back to defender. This is a thing that we don't. This is something that's annoyed me for many years. Not about West Ham, just about footballers generally. That you are professional footballers. So what? You're marked. That's the game. Still pass it someone and mark. You should be able to keep the guy behind you, lend the ball, lay it off, and do that. And I just saw him doing that, and he was just there. And as I say, he's like he's got the ball on a string, and he's sort of shifting his foot over the ball, but his head's up, Yarmolenko, and he's just looking to do something. Just the way he was playing around their defenders, he was just an absolute constant threat. He was popping up anywhere on the pitch he wanted to. He was finding pockets of space. I felt he knitted the team together, and it wasn't often you look at Yarmolenko do one exceptional thing like a bending 20-yard shot into the top corner. I actually thought from the very basics to the exceptional, he knitted everything together tonight. And you mentioned it before in the build-up about David Moyes having a problem of fitting Bowen and Yarmolenko into the team. He has given Moyes that problem now. Moyes has a massive issue with that because, quite frankly, Yarmolenko was brilliant tonight.
I think Yarmolenko has to start on Saturday now. I think he looked good against Newcastle, and tonight I thought he was just magnificent. His technique is just second to none. I think he's our best footballer, to be honest with you, Gonzo. I think if you were to say to me, there's a 30-yard ball dropping from the sky, who do you want to take it under control? It would be Yarmolenko. But he just draws players to him. You know, if you let him go one-on-one with the defender, he will beat them. He will send them the wrong way. He will be able to cut in eventually. So you've almost got to put two against him. You've got to have your sort of defensive midfield helping out your left back. It just creates space. It creates room for people. I thought linking up with Allaire and Lanzini, I thought was really nice. Those three in particular linking up was really nice to see. Allaire would just lay it off 2 yards and turn and start running because he knows Yarmolenko's coming to get it. He knows Yarmolenko's capable of finding him if there is a pass on. He's just an exciting player to watch. Every time he gets the ball, I'm thinking he's going to shoot here. He doesn't always do it, but I just think he's good enough. He's dangerous enough to hit it from any distance, and I think he's got to start. David Moyes has got to find a way of playing Jared Bowen and Andrei Yarmolenko on Saturday and not compromising either of them. It's not going to be easy, but I know how I would like to see us set up on Saturday. We'll keep that for the preview. But spoiler, it includes Yarmolenko. But I just think he was just magnificent tonight. He deserved his goal that got ruled out. But I like that. Listen, what was it? 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes in against a League One opposition in the Carabao Cup. There was a 60-40 in the keeper's favour. There's Yarmolenko getting his foot in. Thinking, no, you're not having this. I'm having this. Not many of our players would have done that. Most of them would have just let the goalie grab it. But he did it. He showed a little bit of attitude. I think Yarmolenko has arrogance about him. I do. I think he's an arrogant footballer, but I love it. He'll have a shot. He'll go 30 yards wide. He'll have another one. He'll have another one. Because he backs himself. He knows he's good enough. And we just don't have enough players like that. Felipe Anderson in the first half, I saw nothing of him. In the second half I did. But we were 2-0 up. It's easy to do it when you're 2-0 up. You've got to do it from the first minute. You've got to do it 0-0. You're paid to win games for West Ham, not to turn up at 2-0 and see us over the line. But Yarmolenko, it doesn't matter. But against Newcastle, Dan, he comes on. He says, give me the ball. I'm going to do something. I'm going to get us back into this game because none of you are good enough or you're not doing something to do it. I just think I am aware I'm a Yarmolenko fanboy, but I do not care. I think he's just a fantastic talent. Anyways, anything else you'd like to add, or shall we leave it there?
No, we'll leave it there, mate. Just a good performance.
Positivity.
Good win. Into the next round.
We're into the next round. If you don't have it already, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video if you have. Myself and Gonzo are way to do the player ratings for the Patreon. What is Patreon? I hear you ask.
What is Patreon?
Nobody's asked it except you. But for the dwarfs and the other people amongst us, the link is in the description below, or go to patreon.com/hammerschat and you can see all the benefits. Basically, you get extra content, player ratings, morning build-up videos, opposition views, Patreon podcast, a monthly mug of tea with Geo Gonzo, and no, do not pick up your tripod. There's none of that. There's none of that on the patrons. Anyway, we're going to go like the video, subscribe to you, and we'll catch you in a bit.